Good morning. It's July, and you can hear it's summer morning, typical Maryland summer, right? Super hot. You can hear the sound of the chainsaws perhaps in the background, taking down some old trees. So we're really excited about the garden this year and lots of things going on. So just a quick tour. I'll start here in the back where we've added a row, and this was kind of a last minute thought, with tomato leftover seedlings. And so we have St. Francis, we have some beautiful cone flowers making a lovely border all the way back. And here's where I planted some of my extra tomato plants. And these are the tomato ladders I like to tell people about. Matt's Wild Cherry has a real rambling style. As you can see, it's already going this way and that way, and it'll go a little crazy. And so this is a great spot for it in the back of the garden. And it produces these lovely clusters of tomatoes. Also planted out the parsley and let it go to seed. This is great food for the butterflies and the caterpillars. Really is what it is, of course. Caterpillars come first, then the butterflies. I do have a butterfly bush, which not everybody thinks is great. There is better food and habitat for butterflies, and we have the Monarda back here. And it's a very pretty bush, and it puts out this lovely purple spiky flower that Nancy gave me, my neighbor. So we'll cut it back every year, and that'll keep it from going too wild back here in the garden. Here's yet another leftover plant. Doesn't this look beautiful? I'm out of cages and ladders, so I'm going to be using, I think, some leftover rebar and running some of this coated wire here to try to keep all of my tomato friends happy. We got a lot of tomato plants this year. This is the oregano bush blooming now. The bees love it. More oregano than I'll ever probably need in my lifetime. Look at these beautiful tomatoes. This plant is producing the most beautiful clusters. I'm so excited about the way it looks. We have potatoes in grow bags. That's a new experiment for me. And these nasturtiums, and they're just gorgeous. The flowers are so pretty. And then I'm really excited because while we're on camera today, I'm gonna pick, I think this is the first really big beefsteak. Look at this beautiful thing. I'm so excited. I'm taking this right now off. Smells so good, looks so good. We'll be eating, and this is a perfect, look at how perfect this is, really. I mean, yes, many coming on the potato leaf brandy wine. You can see the beautiful big leaves here. And these, again, they're indeterminate, so they'll just keep going. You want to be careful with the tomatoes. They don't like any sharp edges on the vines. These are fantastic. Nice and easy. Take the vine, just snap it in, pull it out, use it from year to year. So all along the back here, the irises that are here, I took from my mother's property when she moved into Pickersgill. They were in the raised beds, they were doing great, and then I thought it'd be really nice to have an iris border. So that'll be coming along. Tomato plants, of course, in bags up here, keeping them as well as I can off the ground. And beautiful cucumbers going today. Oh, look at the zinnias, yes. My favorite flowers, grown from seed. They have little flowers within the flowers, and they're just each one spectacularly gorgeous. Color, really fantastic. Most people know about marigolds, and down here are the normal ones. And when I say normal, that's the sparky mix. People think of, they're maybe a foot high. These African crackerjack marigolds have gone crazy. They are so beautiful and big. And the ones back here, these are incredible, right? And I started them from seed, put them behind the cucumbers, thought, oh, it'd be a good idea to put the marigolds with the cucumbers. You can see there's cucumbers over there. It's been cucumbers every day. These are the tomatoes here in the second bed. Again, I planted borage here, and you know, I didn't see any sunflowers come up this year, and the sunflower seeds I planted, I think, were eaten by somebody. This is coming up, and I'm not exactly sure what it is. So we'll just let it go and find out. That's one of the nice things about gardening. You have these things called volunteers. Sometimes they're weeds, other times they turn out to be something quite beautiful and unexpected. Never seen marigolds that big. The fennel back here, and I planted dill so that I can have dill for making pickles later. This should get the swallowtail caterpillars all over it pretty much every year. Well, that was the big tree that was overshadowing the back of the garden, which is why I decided to put the tomato plants in. We took down a really old oak tree that had some damage up at the top, and now I will have more sun, which is great for the tomato plants and other things, which is why I put this row of tomato plants back here. Again, kind of an afterthought, but you know, I had to do something with the seedlings. Now, yesterday I did come out and pick a lot of the clusters of cherry tomatoes that were ripe and ready to go. You can see these. This is Matt's wild cherry. Beautiful clusters. They will turn red. I managed to pull off most of them yesterday. And usually I wait until most of the cluster is red and then I just pull the whole cluster off because it's easier than picking one little tomato at a time. I'll be curious to see in these grow bags. My understanding is once the flowers in the upper part has died back, I can dump out the grow bag and there will be potatoes in there. So we'll be doing that, I think, on our next edition of Jane's Garden World. Meanwhile, welcome to summer. And I hope you all are enjoying the hot weather from a cool place. I resisted watering too much this week because honestly, the tomatoes do like it hot and they don't like to be overwatered or underwatered. So everything's looking really good. Lots of tomatoes on the vine. Got more tomato plants in other areas, but this is our main garden. And what I love too is that, you know, the space is defined. If you have a big property, even if you have a small property, you want to define your garden space, focus on that, kind of ignore the rest of the garden, things going around you, because honestly, it's a lot to just take one area and turn it into a beautiful garden. I encourage you to do that, enjoy my garden world, and eat some beautiful tomatoes, cucumbers. Thanks for coming to Jane's Garden World.